Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean, this is In The Mixer, episode 109. Happy Thursday, wherever in the world you're watching from, and if it's a different day of the week, you're watching this one on the weekend, or later on the playlist, or whatever else, I hope you're having a great day as well. As with all the episodes we've done this week, this fantastic shirt that I'm wearing, designed by Jim G FM, his link is in the description below, is for CALM, the Campaign Against Living Miserably. Please go and check out their links in the description as well, even if not for yourself, for other people that might be in your life or in your world that you can help with further strategies, tips, tricks, a whole bunch of different stuff to help survive the world as it is today. But as far as Isle of Man is concerned, we are getting towards the crunch end of the season. There's only a few games remaining in the year. We want to secure our Premier League status for next season. And truth be told, we're in pretty horrific form, but thankfully, so is everybody else at our end of the table. Let's jump straight in and have a look. So as you guys can see just above my finger here, we are currently in 11th spot, which seems to be a spot that we've secured relatively well. Leeds still behind us on 12th, 36 points. Norwich just behind them on 35, but then a bit of a gap to Aston Villa in 14th on 32 points. And we are still 14 points clear of Wolves in 18th spot, that last relegation spot. I don't think with the remaining games that we're going to be able to catch Everton just ahead of us here on 46 points, but we wanted to stay in the division. That was the main aim for the season. I think we're pretty much going to secure that in this episode if we can manage to get ourselves some points. We still haven't, I think in like the last 2 seasons, maybe even 3, had an episode that we've recorded where we've gotten 2 victories in succession. It has happened off screen a couple of times. It has happened throughout the course of this season a couple of times, but pretty much all the time at the moment when we start in and record, we lose. And I want to try and get that sorted today. Our form isn't great. We have only won 3 of our last 10, but it's the last 7 that you want to look at, where we've only won once and 5 defeats on the trot. Now, that might sound horrific, but we had Bournemouth in the FA Cup, who are a very good side. Brighton, who are a top 4 team at the moment, beat us 2-0 in the last episode. Liverpool beat us 3-0. They were very good. And then we lost 1-0 to Man City. Went down to 10 men last talk, getting his 3rd red card of the season, which is absolutely insane. And it took a penalty in the 87th minute for them to eventually get beyond us. But we were under pressure for quite a while, which you'd expect playing against Man City. And then we lost 1-0 to Tottenham. A very good goal, to be fair. Alisson Vicente, the Brazilian international, just an absolute screamer from the edge of the area after pretty good build-up play. We do have an opportunity to turn that around now, though. We play Leicester, who are down in 17th, who are fighting for survival in the Premier Division and have actually been a little bit better in the last few games. I think they've picked up a draw and a win or something like that in the last few games to get themselves 6 points clear of Wolves in 18th. But you can guarantee they'd be kind of circling our game on the calendar, wanting to get 3 points and wanting to secure their Premier League status for next season. We've then also got Newcastle, who are up into 3rd position, which is crazy to say. Man United pretty much running away with it. They're 10 points clear of City at the moment. City on 70 points. Newcastle in 3rd on 69 points. Could very easily jump above Man City if results go their way. Liverpool, Brighton, Chelsea and Arsenal round out the other European places, and Tottenham have managed to turn around their second half of the season form and jump back up into 8th spot after being as low as like 11th or 12th early on in the season. Bournemouth and Everton, the other 2 sides rounding out the top 10 ahead of us. As far as the squad's concerned, we've got a couple of injury knocks, which we're thankfully through now. Gail Benchop will come back into the lineup. Torp is suspended for that red card. He will likely not play again this season, I've decided. And Ronnie Senna currently has an injury, which means the Wolf will get a little bit of a farewell tour, I'm thinking. I'm thinking the likes of Franz Wolf and Tyrone Taylor, guys that we've had for 4 or 5 seasons since League One, are probably at their ceiling now. And at 24, I don't really want them to be squad players not playing football in their prime. I'd rather we kind of pass them on and let them go on and fulfill the rest of their careers. They've been wonderful servants for us, but we're just not starting them. So it might be a good time to pass them on and let them play week in, week out with other sides. Scouting is in full swing for next season. Transfers are in full swing for next season. We've got a whole bunch of different exciting stuff coming up into the future. I'm just waiting to get my transfer budget for next year. If we jump back into the inbox, this profit made in the Premier Division display is interesting reading. We have become the most profitable side in the Premier Division. Now, when I say that, that doesn't mean that we're earning a shitload of money. It just means we have £82 million profit for this season in the Premier Division based on transfers that we've paid, based on wage expenditure, all of that sort of stuff. Our operating costs are so low that pretty much anything we're making is profit and money in the bank at the moment. Finances are in a really good spot, £74 million overall. I'm hopeful that I'll get given a bit of a transfer kitty to go after a few different players around the clubs. And of course, because it's me and I just can't help myself, there'll likely be wonder kids showing up on our doorstep before we know it. Again, though, that's all for the future. Let's jump forward and have a look at the 2 lineups for the Leicester game. So first looking at our squad, we've got, of course, Cooperson in goal, Sigurdsson and Escobar as the defensive partnership, as they have been all season, just playing in their preferred roles, which mean Escobar will play as a covering defender, Anonye and Benchop as the two fullbacks, Wolf and Barbosa as the midfield pairing, Aguirre will play at the 10 with Londono and Fessler on the wings. Both of them struggling for fitness at the moment, but I can't get the other sides out there. Rosero's had a couple of knocks, Winter just doesn't play well whenever he plays, and Alta Miranda will lead the line up top for us. I think Camara has done okay, but is definitely at his ceiling. Like, he's played 6 games for 1 goal and 5 additional appearances off the bench. That's not really the return that we need from a player that should be trying to push for a starting berth. So we will probably try and look at improving that side of things as well. Looking at Leicester, they've got a largely regen squad. There's a couple of holdouts here. Kamara at right back, who they've picked up from Olympique Marseille via Lazio, Juventus and Monaco. His first season at Leicester has been a bit of a struggle for him. He looks mentally solid, physically solid, but technically not anything to be too scared of. And at 32, you'd think he's probably coming towards the end of his season. Billy Gilmore in midfield, 30 years of age. The young Scottish player starts the save in the series. At Chelsea, he's gone out on loan as part of that Chelsea army to Bristol Rovers, Vitesse, Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday, Portsmouth, Stoke, Celtic. Actually, it looks like Celtic might have purchased him. If we go to his history here, they did indeed buy him directly from Chelsea after a few seasons. Then went at Watford for a year, and now at Leicester, where he's been for 4 seasons. And their highest average rated player for the season so far. Very impressive from him. Hartley out here on the left wing is their highest assist provider for the season so far, with 1. Or is he their leading scorer? Yeah, he's their leading scorer, which is insane. He's only got 4 goals, so you can see where their issues have come from this season. Looks to be a very good English inverted winger on that left-hand side, coming through at Luton before joining the Foxes. I desperately want to win this game assertively. I fully expect you to end our poor run of form. We're also going to tell everyone we've got faith in them, just to try and give everyone a bit of a boost. And hopefully, if we get everyone's confidence and morale back up, it's just as simple as putting the ball in the back of the net today, boys. And if we get 3 points, it's going to see us go beyond that magical 40-point marker and I think effectively secure Premier Division football for next season. Fessler's won the ball back in a good area. We did have a chat to him during the week where we spoke about him improving his form, and he has drawn a penalty here, which is very interesting in the opening minute. It's going to be Alta Miranda to take. I think the last penalty he took was one you guys saw that he missed against Man City, and at that time, no mistake, sends the keeper the wrong direction. 15th goal of the season for him. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And we get a goal advantage very early on in this contest. Keeper actually did go the right way, but he went very, very late. Kind of just laid down to really make it look good for the cameras, I think. A very good penalty from Alta Miranda there. Interestingly, Leeds not playing today, so if we do get this win, we'll go 4 points clear of them. Grant with a corner for Leicester. First highlight we've seen from them, and they've put it in the back of the net. Billy Gilmore has eventually flicked it beyond. There was a guy standing in an offside position, McDermott at far post. He might not have interfered with the ball. We'll check it out here in 3 dimensions. Grant sends it back across. Backstick header is there, and McDermott's right there. Maybe makes contact with the goalkeeper, but I think the ball was in the back of the net, to be fair, by the time it already went in. Through half an hour now, we're going to use our Get Creative shout, something a little bit different. Everyone seems inspired. If we can try and get a go-ahead goal before half-time, it's going to give us a really good platform for the second half. But at the same time, Leicester's body language is decent as well. They might fancy themselves to get 3 points here. Aguirre with the ball from the throw-in, but we've given it away to Hickey. He's going to come forward. We've gotten 2v2, and someone's got to go to him. Everybody seems to drop relatively well, which is good. Fessler clears it away, but only as far as Josimar at the bottom of Leicester's midfield. Now Solus, back to Britton. Switch out towards Hickey again. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Ball across towards Hartley. Backstick is knocked down well for Grant. Hartley's offside. Thankfully, that one's going to get ruled out for offside. Is it? It is. Oh, it took a second, but yeah, thankfully VAR brings it back. And after 2 minutes of additional time, the first half comes to an end. We've had 6 shots thrown on target, 50% of the ball. They've had 5 shots thrown on target and 50% possession. We're going to passionately say, I'm pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. I don't want to get too down on everybody. It's the first time we've scored in forever. And while, yes, Leicester have had their opportunities, I think if we put our foot down, we will find a winner. Aguirre with a strike from distance. It's dropped, and Alta Miranda has knocked it home for his 16th goal of the season and a double on the day. A wonderful finish. And right when we need it, the little Argentine wonder kid has come up big for us. It's a wonderful strike from Aguirre. Simpson Reynolds actually saved it. I thought it might have hit the crossbar, and thankfully Alta Miranda, the fox in the box, no angle to work with, just smashes it back in there for the 2-1 advantage. Right, through the hour mark now, let's have a look at these subs. Londono's got a knock, so we're going to take him off for Jimmy Winter. And it looks like the Wolves picked up a yellow card as well, which is concerning a little bit, but maybe I'll have faith in him. He usually does relatively well. Fessler struggling to make an impact again. We might bring on Rosero just to give both the wingers some time. And hopefully those fresh legs out wide will put some additional pressure on the Leicester defence. Though they have gotten goal side here, and Gilby with the strike from the wide area. Kubis equal to it. Kubis has definitely been our player of the season this year. He has been absolutely immense a variety of times. Going to use our Get Creative shout, and we've immediately got a highlight. Aguirre goes back stick to Escobar, who's found another goal to give us that 2-goal advantage, which we so desperately need. 4th goal of the season for him. He scored more than some of our wingers and midfielders at this rate. It's a great ball in from Escobar, just absolutely whipped to back post, and Escobar peels off the back. Oh, did I say Escobar? Aguirre took the free kick. Escobar headed it home. We've got a highlight here immediately from kickoff, which could go one of two ways, either our way or Leicester's way. That's how the highlights work. All right, they're playing it forward a little bit now. Kamara sends it out right to Hakimi. It looked like Winter was maybe going to win the ball back there for a split second, but they've kept possession. Gilmore switches it out to left to Gilby again, who's been busy in the second half, and his drive from the edge of the area just wide. It did have a fair bit of power on it though. All right, 10 minutes remain. We're going to make one more sub, and I think it might be Pekovic coming on from the Wolf just because of that yellow card. He can kind of do the deep line playmaker role. We'll give him a whirl at it. He's usually a number 10, but I just want to see out the last 10 minutes. We're going to use our demand more shout as well, just to try and give everyone some focus through to full time. There's a highlight here. Escobar starts with the ball deep to Benchot. Now ball over the top to Barbosa, who can turn to find Rosero, fresh off the bench. Can he beat his man to find a finish? He gets the ball back by way of a little bit of good fortune. It just clipped the defender there and fell to him, but his shot was tame and straight at the keeper. 4 minutes to be added on at the end of this one. We're through that time now, and the referee's called full time. We've finally gotten a victory just to turn around a shitty form. 14 shots, 9 on target, 48% possession, 11 shots, 7 on target, and 52% for Leicester, and a 3-1 victory. A very good result. Passionately, I'm going to tell everybody. People had written us off, and you've proven them all wrong. A great result. And it's not going to destroy Leicester's season. I think they've got enough about them to stay clear of the relegation spots. It would take a lot of form being turned around from either Wolves or West Ham to catch them at this point. They are still 6 points clear, so I don't think we've consigned them to anything, and it does give us a 4-point advantage ahead of Leeds in 12th spot, and now Norwich in 13th as well. We are 9 points behind Everton. We're definitely not going to catch them. They beat Newcastle today, which might be a little bit of a bonus for us if Newcastle are in a poor little spot of form. They've dropped down to 4th position. I'm sure they will go out to try and get the 3 points, but you can see here, FC Isle of Man avoid relegation. We've secured our place in next season's Premier Division mathematically, which is absolutely phenomenal. We were expected to finish rock bottom, which has been like the story of the season for the last few years, even in the Championship. And Alton Miranda, his double 8.6 match rating, is the man that helps us stay in the league next season. Jamie Vardy, still manager at Leicester. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. He was manager at Fulham. So he was previously a coach with us for a season where he did very well. Went to Swansea, did all right. Went to Fulham, where we went toe-to-toe with him a couple of times last season. And then he's also now the manager of Leicester, which is a very interesting one. So it's been crazy to see his kind of managerial career continue after staying with us for a year. Londono's got a bit of a knock. Alton Miranda's close to getting 15 league goals this season. I will happily pay out his bonus if he continues to score, and it will give him a bit of praise as well. And Sevilla was there having a look at him. Rene Goossens checking him out. He's got quite a few different teams actually keeping an eye on him, including Man City. If they come flying in, he's got a release clause of £47 million. I would imagine Man City probably aren't going to have any issues trying to pay that one off. Anyway, magic editing. We're going to jump forward to the game against Newcastle and look at the two lineups. Right, just like that, we are a week ahead now. The only knock that you need to be aware of is Benchot, so Dixon will come in at right back. There's another one that impacts the bench. Petkovic to pick up a knock, and Senna will jump on just to round out the squad. Looking at Newcastle's side, they've got two lonely holdouts. Lunin here, Ukrainian goalkeeper, 132 caps to his name playing in goal. He looks very good, actually. 19 one-on-ones is very impressive. He's been at Newcastle for 2 seasons after playing at Watford, Sporting, Lisbon, Real Madrid, Valladolid, and a few other clubs as well. Then at left back there, who I nearly missed because he's behind my microphone arm, Ryan Sessegnon, still going strong at 31 years of age. They've converted him into a natural fullback, which I wasn't able to do when I was managing England in our previous one-season wonder save. Looks solid, nothing spectacular. He's been at Newcastle for a good few seasons. He went to Frankfurt after leaving Tottenham, which is an interesting one. But luckily the backup this year, only 17 starting appearances in the Premier Division. Maloney in midfield here is their star player for the season, 24-year-old US international, 33 caps to his name, 18 passing, 18 technique, 18 determination. He looks to be a decent little player, having come through the LAFC Academy, which is a nice, interesting one there. We're playing 3 up front. It's the old Hactic from FM4. Oh, geez, which FM was it? FM18 maybe? 3 up front, super overpowered. One of which is Bruno, 26-year-old forward from Brazil. Some of these technical attributes are ridiculous. 17 crossing, 18 dribbling, finishing, and first touch, 17 heading. Very impressive. 19 agility, the biggest physical trait jumping out there. Candela, who he plays alongside, Spanish striker, also got 16 first touch, which jumps out at you. 17 off the ball, 16 technique. And Elkins over here, the right side of the 3, 20-year-old English player, came through the Newcastle Academy. He's usually number 10, but they're playing him up top. He's a wonder kid by media description. 20 agility, 17 fitness, pace, and stamina. Very, very impressive as well there. So they've got a good side. The one that I'm not seeing here is Peterson, who's the wonder kid Brazilian that they've got. They beat us to him a couple of seasons ago. He's a very, very good striker. Assertively, we are going to say we owe Newcastle after what happened in our last match. Why not? Guess that's the easy part about the second half of the season. If most sides beat you in the first half, you've got your team talk sort of when you play them next time around. And keeping an eye on Newcastle, they have dropped down into 5th spot. They'll be looking to get ahead of Chelsea, Liverpool, and potentially Man City if results go their way with a good performance and a victory today. But we have made it outside the opening 20 minutes without conceding. Just as I say that, we've got a throw in very deep in our own half. Into the Wolf. Now Aguirre has a bit of space ahead of him. He's gone long ball over the top to Altamiranda, who has peeled away goal side and found the finish for his 17th goal of the season. And I think we mentioned it in the last game. That will get him a bonus. I've just randomly studied for 15 goals is what I was trying to say. For 15 goals this season in the league. It's a wonderful touch. And as the keeper comes, he just slides it through his legs for the nutmeg and the finish. And we go a goal up against European Cup bound Newcastle. There's a highlight here immediately on the restart, which is always terrifying. Londono's won it back in a good area, though. Can we make it 2? He's dragged across the central defender. Can he get the ball back in? Squares it up to Ononye. Looks to go past one challenge, but it's recovered by Newcastle. Long ball forward towards Elkins, and now Newcastle are just flooding forward with numbers. Elkins with the switch out left towards Bruno, and just like that, it's turned around and gone the other direction. I think we've just given away a penalty. They're consulting with VAR, and they have indeed. All right, so we're going to use our demand more shout before this hits the back of the net. And it's Sean Dixon who give it away. Sessegnon takes and misses. Holy shit. So we've managed to get away with one there. Why is Sessegnon taking them? He immediately drops to a 6.2, and their entire side just absolutely devastated by that. They have got a corner, though. Maloney goes near post, and Romero, thankfully, just over the crossbar. We're going to demand more again. We're throwing here, finds the Wolf. He's lost out to Dixon, who going along with the long ball up the line for Elkins. I've lost the ability to speak coherently in sentences and use full words, but thankfully, the drive from the edge of the area, just over the crossbar. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of the first half. We're through that now. So at halftime, they've had 7 shots, 2 on target and 46% possession. We've had 3 shots, 2 on target and 52% of the ball. That missed penalty is the big difference at the moment. Assertively, don't get complacent out there. Let's try that. Sometimes you use that and it just invites so much pressure on you. But if we can get a good defensive performance here in the second half, I don't see any reason why we can't hold them off for 45 more minutes. Kubis played forward to the Wolf here. Now Barbosa looks out towards Fessler. Reverse pass to Altamiranda. Is he onside though? And he's found the finish. An 18th goal of the season for him. Absolutely wonderful. Was he onside though? He looked maybe like he was offside in the build-up. But we've got a 2-goal advantage here. And Altamiranda very quickly closing in on 20 goals for the season. Barbosa's ball forward finds Fessler. Just cuts inside. It's a lovely little reverse pass there. And he does very well to hold off the defender and smash it back across the goalkeeper. A wonderful finish from a fantastic player. We're going to struggle to keep hold of him in the off-season, I think, if he continues at this rate. Maloney, ball forward. It's pinballing around, and thankfully someone puts their body on their line. It didn't quite cross the line there before we got it away. I don't know why we're being shown that highlight. No one really cares. Throw in right-hand side here for Newcastle. Might be looking to turn the screws a little bit here. Elkins beats a couple and then cuts it back stick towards Bruno. It's hit the ground again, and we managed to scramble it away. Is that the end of the highlight? It is indeed, as Acosta picked up possession for them. Throw in, left-hand side, Ononye into Aguirre. Now Londono, back to Ononye. Just head to the corner flag, mate. You don't have to do anything too crazy. Tries to get a ball in that wasn't on, and the deflection has worked the way of Newcastle. They send Elkins down the right, who's been busy here in the second half. He beats one challenge, and don't tell me, it's going to VAR, and they've given a second penalty. Please have Sessegnon take it. Please have Sessegnon put it into... Oh no, it's going to be Delatich this time. Second opportunity, and Kubis with the save. Oh, we're leaving it late, and we're relying on one, heroics from the goalkeeper, but also them to continue missing opportunities. Ball headed away. Aguirre just put it up the line. Altamiranda on the right. Can we find another counter-attack here? whereas the highlight pretty much just going to be him putting into the touch. Sessegnon does that now as it comes to an end. Holy shit. All right, we're going to hit pause because I don't want to concede 2 goals while I'm doing subs. Let's sort by rating, and the Wolf is the one struggling at the moment. We're going to bring on Ronnie Sennett just to try and see out the rest of the match. He'll go to a deep line playmaker defend role. And then if we go maybe for the second sub, we'll go via conditioning, and it's Anonye who's struggling the most. And he's on a yellow card. What do I want to do relating to that? I could potentially put Anonye off and bring on Tyrone Taylor as like a no-nonsense fullback to just hook the ball clear. Maybe that's the best way to do it, just to not invite too much pressure. Go super defensive. And Elkins, to be fair, has been tearing us apart on that right-hand side. And use that get creative shout. They've got a free kick out wide. Knocked down for Bruno. They've pulled one back. 15th goal of the season for him. 30 minutes remain straight after we've made those subs, which is quite frustrating. Maloney puts a good ball in, and it's knocked down. Oh no, actually it was a headed clearance, I think, by Taylor. But Bruno, the first one to it, smashes it home, and it could be a very tense finish here. Sigurdsson, forward to Taylor. Sigurdsson again. Back to Kubis. Works it out to the right. Dixon's got plenty of time and space in front of him if he can find the right ball. Goes inside to Aguirre. Looks for Altamiranda in the channel. Romero does clear. Now long ball forward towards Bruno, who's knocked it down for Delatic, the scorer from the penalty spot. Martinelli finds Diodario on the overlap. Taylor's won the ball back. Sigurdsson looks long, but we're just giving pressure. Well, we're giving the ball back to them, but Altamiranda has won it back in a fantastic position. What can he do? Skips past one challenge. Can he find the finish? That would have been his hat-trick. And Sessegnon hooks it clear. Wonderful work from Altamiranda, entirely on his own back. Aguirre, ball back stick. Fessler will recover. Finds Barbosa, who looks for the curling strike towards the top corner. Keeper was scrambling to make it look dramatic. Oh, this is a proper tense episode. Hopefully I'm not ruining this fantastic high quality shirt designed by Jim G by sweating through the armpits of it. We're going to demand more here in the last 10 minutes, and I'm going to wait. I don't think I'm going to use my last sub. 4 minutes of additional time to be added on. Can we hold on here for finally a 6-point game or 6-point episode? We have indeed. The referee calls full time. 17 shots, 6 on target, 46% possession from Newcastle. 2 missed penalties, which is absolutely insane. Altamiranda at the double. We had 8 shots, 5 on target, and 54% of the ball passionately. That was really special, lads. Nobody gave you a chance, and you performed absolutely magnificently. We might not be having a say in like the playoff, or not playoff, but the European fixtures at the moment, but we're definitely taking some points off teams that are trying to make the Champions Division. That does mean that Newcastle will be 3 points behind Chelsea, Liverpool in that race for Champions League football, which is just mind-boggling. It's boggling is what I meant to say. This entire episode, I have flubbed every single line that I've tried to say. Altamiranda deservedly gets the Man of the Match award. Man United have won the division, which is absolutely crazy. And we're going to give Altamiranda a little bit of praise, given he was fantastic in that episode. United can't be caught now. They are 12 points clear at the top of the league with 3 games remaining. Really, the only thing in that top half that's still to be determined are the European spots. For us, looking at our schedule, we will likely play the West Ham game off screen. They are in 19th spot, and I think pretty much confirmed as relegated. Oh, well, only West Brom's confirmed as relegated, who came up with us last season. 15 points for the year. That's absolutely horrific if it stays at that level. West Ham on 22 points probably need to win all of their games and hope that Leicester completely capitulate, but I think they're probably going down as well. And Wolves looking most likely to be the side that joins them. We are going to go and have a look, because I'm a prick, at West Ham's squad, and probably going to go have a look at the Wolves squad as well to see if they've got any promising youngsters coming through. We've already got one on the short list here, Scott Phillips, but if they've got players that are going to want to leave based on relegation, we will definitely swoop in and try and strengthen our squad. We need some English players as well. But that will see us play Chelsea and Wolves in the last 2 games of the season, potentially relegating Wolves. And a good chance for revenge against Chelsea after they absolutely spanked us 6-1 earlier on in the season. It does feel like a long time ago, but the streets never forget, so we won't either. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the part that I appreciate the most. If you want to do that little bit extra this week, go and check out Jim G, who designed this fantastic shirt and who is a wonderful content creator. His editing is just, it's probably up there amongst like the very top tier of Football Manager content in terms of editing and production value and all that sort of stuff. Also go and check it out, calmzone.net. I think the website. Basically Calm, the Campaign Against Living Miserably. Please go and check out all their fantastic work that they do. But like I said at the start, more than anything, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.